Let's take it to match day match point number 2 now, and we are focusing on a player who you wouldn't have thought would be part of the focus before the season of Pune began, but Pune's surprise package has indeed been Rahul Tripathi, just 26 years of age, from Maharashtra, and innings by innings, bit by bit, he's making a mark for himself. If we look at the most 30 plus scores for Pune, and mind you, Tripathi's played only 6 games, he wasn't a starter from the beginning, but 216 runs, 530 plus scores. He tends to be the man to get them off to a start, and you compare that strike rate with Ajinkya Rahane's opening partner or with even Steven Smith, 154. Ajit, Rahul Tripathi, we always think of a few guys in young Indians that tend to impress. Tripathi at the top, when he's got more seasoned players around him, has almost held Pune together. 45 seconds to sum him up.
Yeah, and at a time when Ajinkya Rahane, which is such a rare thing for Ajinkya Rahane to do, is not in the greatest of forms in the IPL. Okay, he's had a few starts, but one of the most endearing things about Tripathi was his interview the other day before the game. Just very honest, was almost a fan before he came into this IPL. But tells you, the level of cricket at the moment in India or your domestic cricket, not a lot of guys are overawed. I mean, yes, they'll be starstruck at times having some big names in the dressing room, but once you're out there, guys feel at home, and he's looked at home completely against some really good bowlers. Real plus for Pune, and to keep someone like a Mayank Agarwal who's quite established out, he must be doing some things right, and I'm glad Pune did give him an opportunity.
Must be delighted for you also, Sanjay Bangar, to see a young Indian player like that. Sometimes just not coming into the tournament with any baggage, any expectation, preconceived thoughts. Rahul Tripathi shown that little bit of freedom that we like to see. I would love to know your thoughts on what you've observed of Tripathi. 45 seconds, Steve.
For Tripathi, when the interview that Ajit was mentioning, I mean, he spoke of how the management told him that he needs to work on certain areas, on fitness, on his strength, and after that, the way he has come back and delivered, and the method which he's adopted is that he's running down the wicket to the faster bowlers, and there is a method to it because he's stepping outside the line and he favors the offside. He looks to go over mid-off, also looks to create width for the ball which are just short of a length. And that's what impresses me, and when he's playing from the crease, he's not afraid to play the pull shot. So all in all, I think he's got a very well thought out plan against the seamers.
Yeah, since we've got a couple.
No, the good thing, I mean, he's not throwing it away. He's got starts, but he looks like he wants to go on, which is a nice thing from a young player. Sometimes you can get carried away while striking the ball. But the consistency, those 530 plus scores tells you he's on the right path.
That interview you mentioned where he says that when MS Dhoni at the other end, he was so amazed, so overawed, he called him sir when they were batting together. Anyone from your days that you remember that you were playing at the other end and suddenly so overawed, didn't know what to call him by his name or call him sir? Anyone? First class cricket or international cricket? Or you two were always the senior too?
No, I mean, I sort of batted with Sachin and Rahul and all of them, but we were like a similar age group.
Sure.
And I mean, whenever we saw them, it was a bit of a jealousy thing that how well they could bat and how average we were. So there was that thing always, but never anybody to be mentioned by the name sir.
First time I batted with Sachin as the non-striker, and I was too stressed. I was just trying to make sure he doesn't get run out.
I mean, we were batting in the Zimbabwe in Nagpur test, and I was at the non-strikers, and Sachin was at the strikers, and he hit one full-blooded shot. It hit my chest, and I thought, and I was sort of on the ground, and I thought Sachin would come and say, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he was saying, "Arey yaar, boundary miss ho gaya." So,
oh God, Rahul Tripathi, don't be at the receiving end for MS Dhoni's on drives or anything that he hits past the non-striker, but he's been a revelation for Pune at the top.